Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to download and install our free blog post template for Divi's Acupuncture layout pack. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to head over to this blog post, which I'll link to in the show notes below. So what you want to do is to download this template. So I'm going to click here on get it for free today, add my email address, click on download. And then you want to download the files. So as you can see, they are downloaded here on my local computer. So I am going to now unzip this file. So I'm going to show in Finder. So next I need to unzip this file. So I'm going to double click on it. So here is the file that I unzipped. So it also comes in a folder. So what I need to do now is to go into this folder. So I'm going to double click. And this is the file that we're going to be installing in a moment. So I'm just going to drag this over here to my other screen so I can do the next part of the tutorial. All right, so the next part now is to go to our website. So our website is right here. So the first thing you want to do is to scroll all the way down here to Divi and then click on Theme Builder. So as you can see, there is no template here for our blog post. So if we take a look at our post here on our site, this just has our default layout, which is not really styled. So we want to change this and really transform this into our template. All right, so what we need to do here is to click here on portability, click on import, and making sure these two check marks are on. We want to add or import our file that we unzipped earlier on. So this is the file. I'm just going to drag and drop it here. Now it's very important that you first unzip this folder, because if you don't, this won't work. So now that I've added my file, also the other way of installing this template is to click here and then navigating manually on your computer. All right, so I'm going to hit import Divi Theme Builder. So as you can see, this post now has been applied to all blog posts on my computer. So I'm going to save changes. Now, if I come back here, now remember, this is our default layout, which does not have a template installed. So now that I've installed my template and I've saved, I can refresh this now and take a look at our Acupuncture layout post. So there we go. So you can see here, we have this beautiful post. And when we scroll down here, it is well designed. And we also have our post area here. And when I scroll further down, we also have our newsletter section where we can collect emails. And we also have our comments area, which has been totally transformed. And pretty much this is our design for all our blog posts. Now, it's important to note that every time you create a brand new post, it is going to take up this layout. Okay, so this is why this template is very important. Now that you have this template, there are maybe a few things that you may want to change here. Perhaps maybe the font that's used here and your layout, and also set up your email opt-in so that you can start collecting emails. Now, of course, you can also take this further and use your own colors that match your branding. But of course, the sky is the limit with this. So let me show you how you can go in and make a few changes to your template. So right now I'm back here in my theme builder. So I'm going to click on this pencil icon, and this now is going to take me into our builder. All right, so first things first, let's take a look here and see what we can change on our background. So I'm going to click on my section settings here, go to my background. So first of all, we have this color here. So if you have your own specific color, you can choose your color here. And this is the color that's applied to the background. So you can see as I'm cycling through these colors, you can choose your color that works with your branding. Okay. Next, you want to come over here, and this is where you get to add your image. So this is the image that you can use over here in the main hero area. And here we also have a blend mode. It's set to multiply, but you can change this to whatever blending mode that you may want to add. So you can see here we have different styles as you cycle through these. Okay, so that's your main area right there. Next, let's take a look and see how we can change our main blog post titles. So I'm going to click on this gear icon. This is going to take me to my text settings, and this is dynamic text. So it's set to pull information from our post title or archive title. Right, so let's change the font here by clicking on this paintbrush icon. It's going to take us now to our design tab. So you can change your font here. So in my case, let's say I want to choose Poppins. I can just choose it like that, reduce the size, and I can also change the font weight. I can even go heavy. So there's a lot that I can do here. We can also play around with the colors. So this is mainly to customize this to suit your designs, your fonts, and just make your website look consistent. Okay. Next, we also have this image here. Now, this is a featured image. So the image that you use for your blog post is what shows up here. So what we can do here is pretty much maybe add some rounded corners. So I can just add a border here. So you can see here, these are my borders. So if you want, you can just add, your borders like that. Okay. All right. So next, we're going to take a look here at this icon. And again, I'm going to go in here. So to customize it, you can just click here on this paintbrush icon. And there's a few things we can do here. We can adjust the icon font size, and this adjusts the size of the icon itself. And you can also play around the colors if you need to. Okay, moving on. We also have this area here. So the first part here shows our post categories. So this would show post categories. In fact, let me show you here. By default, it's showing that it's uncategorized. So this is what shows over here. It says we have one comment and then the author, Augustine Mack, and then we have the published date. So this is what this information here is about. So you can actually go in and make some customizations to this. So let's start off by changing our text. So this one here is focusing on our post category. So what we can do here is to first customize the title. So we can change our font here to say Poppins. We can reduce the size. We can change the color. And then next we can go to our categories here, our meta text, and we can change this to Poppins as well. We can change the color. And if we need to, we can also adjust the size, make it bigger or make it smaller. So this is how you can go in and customize that. So I'm not going to commit to any changes yet. So we also have this background color. You can go in and change that to match the colors for your brand. Next, we also have our post comments and post author and published date. Now these are all changed or adjusted the same way. You can just click here on this paintbrush icon, change your fonts here, change the size, the colors, and so on. So you can see here just by clicking that, my color is changing. So these are all changed the same way. Now let's move on to our post content. So this is where your blog post content will go in. So again, you can go in and make some changes to this. So let's say you want your titles to be bold here. You can just go in and change it to bold. And if you wanted to customize your colors, you can just come in here and choose the exact color that you may want to use for your posts. So you can do this to all the headers, but you have to do this one by one. Next, let's take a look here at our text. So again, this can be adjusted by coming over here, changing our font, say to Poppins, for example. And now you can see that this has immediately changed. You can also adjust the size. You can also adjust the line height and also the spacing, okay, and the color as well. Now, moving on, we can add all our headings up to heading 6. So ideally, or what I recommend is you want to add some bold to this so that your headings stand out. So that's our post area here. Okay, so moving on, we also have our newsletter area. Now, this is very important because if you don't set this out correctly, this will not collect all your emails. So first of all, let's customize this. So I'm going to go into my blurbs settings. So first of all, we have our icon, our heading here, and our description. So let's start with our icon. So you can customize this. You can add a circle to it. And on that circle, you can add your colors. So this is all you can, this is everything that you can do here. We also have our newsletter title here, which you can go in and perhaps change the color as well. We also have the description here. And again, let's say I choose Poppins, I can just choose my Poppins here. Now, if at any time you want to go back and make adjustments to the other things, just click here on this paintbrush icon. This helps you go through your design process faster. Okay, so let's say you want to adjust the size. Perhaps that's a bit too big. You can see here, you can adjust it on your icon font size like that. Okay. Great. I'm going to close out of here. Next. Now, this is the most important part here, because if you don't connect this to your email service provider, you will not be able to collect your emails. So let's go in and see how we can adjust this. So I'm on my email opt-in settings here. So first things first, you want to scroll down until you get your email account. So by default, it's set to MailChimp, but you can choose any service provider here. And as you can see, there's quite a lot here. We have MailPoet, we have Infusionsoft, GetResponse, Fluent CRM, and so on. So here the process works like this. Whatever your email service provider is, you need to create an email list. So the email list is where all your subscribers are going to be added to. So you create that first, and then once you connect your service provider here, you can then go to your list. So this is where it's going to be shown when you click on this drop down. So once you add everything here, that means every time someone adds their email address and hits subscribe, they are going to be added onto your email service provider's mailing list. Okay, so now that we have this out of the way, the next part is also, let's say you want to collect specific information. In this case, we're only collecting emails, but let's say you also want to collect the first name. So you can just activate it here, and you can see right away the first name has been added. We can also use custom fields if we need to, but usually for opt-ins, the first name and email address is the most popular. Okay, so the question now is, what do you want to happen when someone hits subscribe? Do you want to add a specific message? Now, if that's the case, this is where you can come over here to success action. So by default, it says success, but you can type whatever information you want in here after they have subscribed. Or you can create a specific page, which is known as a thank you page. So you want to create the page first before you can go in and select it. So let's say you've created the page, you want to come over here to redirect to custom URL, and this is where you want to paste the URL. But this thank you page does not need to be on your website. It can also be on an external website. So it just needs to have a URL here. Okay, so pretty much that's all you need to do to make this email opt-in work. Okay, and moving on, we also have recent articles here. So again, these are all text modules. You can go in and customize these very easily. Finally, we have our comments area. So as you can see here, there's a specific color that was chosen for the background. If you want to change this and add your color, you can just come over here to your background section settings, and you can play around with your colors here. So as you can see, as I'm cycling through these, I can add whatever color I want for my background. Okay, now the next part is our comments area. So our comment settings here, I mean, they're quite straightforward to customize, because when I mouse over here, you can see all these paintbrush icons everywhere, which then allows me to just go in and choose whatever area or portion of my comments sections and start making changes to it. So for example, my paintbrush is here on the comments, so I can just go in here and change the font if I need to. So let's say I want to choose Poppins. I can change the color here like that, and just continue just going through this. So you can see here I'm on the name now, so I can change this to whatever color. Then let's say I'm moving on to this submit a comment. And again, as you can see here, I'm really going through this very, very fast. So you can add colors, you can add font types, you can add different sizes, and so on. So this is how quickly you can go in and customize this. So once this is done, what happens is the changes to this template, it's applied across all your blog posts on your website. So it's very, very powerful. Even if you have 1,000 blog posts, whatever you change here is going to be applied across. So it's very, very, very powerful. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.